fear is either the biggest motivator or the biggest killer. Psychedelic music.
And what do you mean by psychedelic music?
Every day that I'm waking up, it feels like I'm on autopilot mode. I'm not even in control of my life anymore. I thought corporate is just draining my soul, it's draining my energy, it's draining my entire life away, and I'm too young to be wasting it on that. To stay on the right path, sometimes you need to stray left.
I feel like when you stray, Asan, that is part of the path.
Comfort zone. It can kill you before you even die.
Why do you think people this generation don't appreciate long form kind of art?
It makes you think. No one wants to sit and think about love for 45 minutes or hate or anger. You go through something to get to the other side, right? You don't go through something just to stay stuck and...
That's not what I mean. I may come out as judgmental asking these questions.
Mainstream, they kind of have that chokehold over their fan base.
It's not sustainable. It's being fed by energy. It's like, you know how a witch needs to feed through innocent people's energies? Have you heard about light codes or light language?
No. Explain.
When I was in Peru, it was almost as if I was speaking to the land. I heard music and I saw.
Actually, the entire planet is always communicating with you.
Because kids are pure, they just came from God.
True.
Who are we to tell them how to live?
To them, yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Decoded Journeys. For today's episode, I'm excited because it's going to be all about music. And I know this podcast is about healing and spirituality and like other things that other people don't talk about usually. But I think music goes hand in hand with spirituality because music, in my opinion, is not just an audible experience, but just an experience that you feel throughout your whole body, visually sometimes. Like I see music as well, not only hear it. So I think it's fitting to include music in this series as well. And I have the perfect guest to talk about it. Fahd, how are you?
All good. And yourself?
Alhamdulillah. Good.
Alhamdulillah. You actually brought a very, very interesting topic with your introduction, that you don't hear music, you see music. I say it just went straight into my brain because I feel like I feel the same thing when you listen to a specific kind of song or a specific kind of video and you close your eyes for like a tiny second.
Yeah.
You can kind of not just hear, but you can see every single sound wave or every single frequency that you're hearing in your head.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting topic. يعني personally, when you, let's say if you put on a song, right, and you can hear the bass, and that bass is vibrating at a very, very specific frequency, and it targets your brain at a very specific frequency, and then your brain interprets that sound wave as like a visual experience more than an audio experience. But it was a very interesting topic.
Yeah. As people, they kind of mine or underestimate the power of not just these eyes, but the inner eye, like the imagination or the visualization, and they kind of dismiss everything as that's just me imagining or that's just nonsense.
I wouldn't say dismiss. I feel like people, it's actually the opposite. They're not tuned in to what they hear.
What do you mean by they don't dismiss, but they're not tuned in?
So you can hear, just because you're hearing something doesn't mean you're dismissing it. Let's say waves, sound waves, radio. You tune into a specific frequency if you want to hear something, right? Let's say if you're car FM, you tune into 87.x to get on Virgin Radio. It's the same thing with music. And more interestingly, it's the same thing with specific instruments. When you hear a song, you can tune into the frequency of the bass, which is lower vibrations. It's a lower frequency. And then within the same song, you can then choose to tune into drums, which is on a whole separate frequency. You can tune into guitar, which is its own frequency. And you can kind of band them all together and tune into the song as a whole. So I feel like people don't tune in. They don't disregard it, but they don't tune into it, if that makes sense.
No, I agree with what you're saying with music. When I was saying dismiss, I didn't mean with music only. As in general, like even without music, even in silence, as when we close our eyes, we see a lot. but sometimes we think it's just black. It's not.
It's not.
If you just pay attention, you probably are seeing way more than you think.
Way more than you think
You know
you're
what I
seeing.
mean? Yeah.
I agree with you. And I will tie this also to my other point, is that you're not tuning into yourself to add that on. Again, your brain is its own frequency. You don't tune into it, or you don't want to tune into it, perhaps because you don't want to go through something. You don't want to face something. So naturally you tune it out. Even your subconscious, you will tune anything you don't want to, again, face or you don't want to look into. So if you close your eyes, you can see and feel everything in your brain if you want to. If you don't want to, you have the power to tune it out as well, which is unfortunately what a lot of us do, because you're too scared of facing something that's perhaps in your head or perhaps in your subconscious, something that you don't want to let go of, or something that you want to let go of, but you don't want to face that. So naturally you tune it out.
Yeah. Before we continue with this conversation, and straight away we dove into it, which I like. But also, who are you? If I asked you that question, who are you?
Interesting question. If you asked me that question 2 years ago, I have no answer. If you ask me that question today, I have an answer. And if you ask me that question in 2 days, I'll have a different answer. Who am I as per this moment? I'm Fahd, a musician first, and a person second, unfortunately. But that's the case. You kind of put your life into one thing and you forget who you are at some point. I feel like personally, the past year, I've put all my life into music that I can't dissociate from it. So if someone asks what am I? Oh, I'm a bassist, I'm a guitarist, I'm a musician, I'm X, I'm Y, I'm Z. But who am I really? That's a question I'm still discovering. So far, I'm discovering it through music. But like I told you, maybe a day or two might not be the case. I might be discovering it through something else. But what I realize is that I'm always evolving, whether spiritually, whether personally, whether mentally, whether physically. I'm always an evolving entity in my life. So every day is something new. Every day that I learn something new, I am something new. And every day that I experience something new, I am something new.
Yeah. I like that because I need to speak in English. It's impossible for someone to be the same person, like even like a minute apart from But also again, as we were talking outside, it's the ego and the identity that ties itself to just one thing. I was talking about this even 2 days ago. Someone asked me, what do I do? And like, I think you asked me, what do I do outside? And I kind of like stuttered. I'm like, what do I do?
For a second.
But that's also why I stopped doing intros on the podcast.
On the podcast.
It felt like it was too forced and too scripted. But also,
I feel like, can I cut you off for a second? I feel like intros are good because kind of when you go sit down in a podcast, we're both on different frequencies and you kind of need to bring that down to the same level of frequency so you can start talking about the topic. It breaks the ice, but I like what you did, 1 hour before, at least we can sit down, we can talk, break that ice naturally, so when we're inside that room, we're all on the same frequency.
No, I think introduction is important in a way where you know how to lead the conversation, but what I meant by introduction is introduction of the person. Like, why doesn't the viewer watch the episode and then decide? Because even if you say I am this, they're gonna receive it in their own way, their own perspective. I'm not sure Aslan if I even talked about myself a lot in this podcast. I feel like I just talk about stuff naturally as it comes, and I think with whatever puzzle pieces like the viewer collects, like they can like make their own image of who am I,
who you are, and who you're. Who the person you're on the podcast with is. But actually, it's as it should be, because you don't want to give that audience, or you don't want to give your audience a perspective of what they should expect in the person. They need to kind of drag it out through their words, through their feelings, through their emotions as they speak.
You said you dove into music for the past year, and you've been doing music full time?
Currently, for the past year, it's been full time.
And before that, what was your life?
So before that, as in before music, or before I took music as a full-time thing?
Before you took music as a full-time thing.
So before I took music as a full-time thing, I was working corporate job as every other person. And it was your average corporate job, 9 to 6, 9 to 7 sometimes. And if your boss wants you to stay, you stay till 9 in the evening. It was that from 9 till 7, and then you drive back home. You put some music on perhaps, and then you go back to your house, you eat, and then your body is so tired, your brain is so overwhelmed that all you can look at is your bed and then fall asleep. And I didn't actually realize I was stuck in that routine for a while. And then one day I woke up and I was like, while I was driving home actually, and I was looking at myself and I'm like, what am I doing? Right? It's every day that I'm waking up, it feels like I'm on autopilot mode. I'm not even in control of my life anymore. I have to wake up, I have to go, and then, I can't wait to see that paycheck come in. And then I spend it on perhaps a new guitar or something that I will never have the chance to play because I'm so overwhelmed and I'm so tired. So what am I doing? I'm wasting all my time for a paycheck because I want to buy the things I love, but then I can't use or do the things I love because I have no time. But I decided that's it. It's not, I'm too young to be doing corporate. And second, I don't want to do corporate. It's not my brain. It's not who I am as a person. I like the freedom of having my day. I like the freedom of having my life, of moving around, of music, for example, playing different genres. Every day is something new. I'm playing a different song, perhaps jazz one day, and then metal going full out one day, maybe rock. You got me, fam? I thought corporate is just draining my soul, it's draining my energy, it's draining my entire life away, and I'm too young to be wasting it on that. So I decided that I'd rather make 3,000 dirhams, example, let's say, and be happy than make 20,000 dirhams and have no life or hate how I'm living my life. Not even that, not just hate, but I have no control over my own life. So when I was going home one day, I just thought about it. And I was like, this is it. I decided to quit.
You said you're too young to be doing corporate, which is an interesting thing because we were trained and programmed and as soon as you finish school,
Corporate.
Yeah. Why do you think at that age you were too young to be in corporate?
Because in my opinion, up until let's say 21, 22, we as humans, naturally, we know our path. You know that you're born, right? And then you're going to go to school, from primary school to high school, from high school to X, to college, to university. You get a degree. And then, like you said, exactly, khalas, your next step is going straight to corporate, right? Unfortunately, a lot of people don't take that 1 minute in between their university and their jobs to sit and think about, like you asked me, who am I? Who are you? Right? No, by that point, you're always living on a routine. You know exactly your next step. But after university, you feel like a whole new life has been opened for you, a whole new door. You have the entire planet to explore. So take the time after university and really explore your head. Not explore yourself, explore your head. What's been inside? What are you? What are you, regardless of what you've been told you are? What are you, regardless of what you think you are? Because everything that you think is right might be wrong, and everything that you think is wrong might be right. So explore that, explore the possibilities, all the different possibilities that you think are right or wrong.
That's so interesting because after college, I didn't have a gap year, but I kind of gave myself a gap year. And I was still assigned in college, but I just never went for a whole year, not even one class.
Okay.
So I kind of had my gap year,
How was it?
Amazing. That's the reason I'm doing this podcast. Literally, that's the thing that initiated me into this path, And
the interesting thing is, I'll add on to that, I traveled, so I used to live here for pretty much my whole life, and then I traveled out, and then I came back here. And then after that year, that almost a year that I took off, I realized that the people that I left here before I traveled are the same people I came back to. That 5-year university difference did nothing to them. They're the same personalities. I don't feel like I'm talking to an evolved person or someone who's changed their thinking. It's not the country, it's the mindset. It's not because they didn't travel. It's not because they didn't. It's because they went on the same routine. They just followed the straight same line that they've been walking on their entire life. They didn't. Actually, my dad always used to tell me, no, life is one path. It's either right or left, and you cannot. You have to choose one. But actually, while I completely agree, I feel like you need to venture into different sides, because each side teaches you something that you never thought you'd ever learn. To stay on the right path, sometimes you need to stray left. Sometimes you need to stray at a different angle, at a different. You got what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like when you stray, that is part of the path.
That is part, exactly. Yeah. It's not because you're taking a different path. It's because you're exploring a different part of that path.
Yeah.
So, you know that saying, all roads lead to Rome? All roads lead to Rome, but sometimes you need to try different roads. You never know, maybe there's a shortcut somewhere. maybe actually the longer road is the better road. It's less rocky, it's less whatever. But you need to explore at the end of the day.
How was it leaving corporate?
Scary. Very, very, very scary. You stray away from the steady paycheck, which is safety, which is a comfort zone, which is the biggest thing that can kill you in your life. It can kill you before you even die. Comfort zone. When you're always, I have my paycheck coming in 2 days, I have my paycheck coming in 3 days, that becomes your motivation, that becomes your will to live and your will to work. And then when you stray away from that and you see that I'm not getting, where's my paycheck? It's not coming after 30 days, right? It's super scary because then it forces you to adapt to your new reality of, okay, maybe I'm not getting this paycheck this month. Maybe I'm not even getting a paycheck for the next 2 months, right? So it's extremely scary, but I find it exciting. Because at the same time, not only does it forces you to be more responsible, more careful of how you spend your life, of how you spend your money. That doesn't make it less scary though.
Yeah.
It's extremely scary. Even till now, I've been gone for a year from corporate and this is scary. But I like that thrill. It's thrill, not scared.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to put words into your mouth, but would you say you're curious about what's going to happen? And then ما تعرف شو بيصير بعد. And you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so you're like curious? Would you
Curious
say?
and excited. Yes, but also scared. Because the fear of the future is real. You don't know what's going to happen in the future in 1 day or in 2 days. But that makes it more exciting. Much more exciting than knowing I'm going to wake up at 9 a.m. and I'm going to go to work and finish at 6 p.m., right?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and I have a gig somewhere, right? We've had gigs in the desert in like a very shamanic environment with a lot, even here with like a lot of shamanic like energy and all of that. And it was amazing. And I would have never done that if I was in corporate, let's say. Had a gig in Abu Dhabi in the middle of the beach. I would have never done that if I was here. Had a gig in Ras Al Khaimah in the oldest city in Dubai and like the oldest neighborhood in Dubai. And I would have never done that if I was in corporate.
Oldest city in Ras Al Khaimah?
In all of the Middle East.
Okay.
It's the most historic site in the Middle East.
Okay.
So we had a gig there and I would have never done that if I was in corporate.
Yeah.
So as scary as it is, it's even more exciting because you never know what the next day brings. You're always looking for something.
Yeah. You said curious, excited, still scared. How didn't you let the fear blind you from being curious and being excited?
I didn't let it blind me, I let it drive me. So fear is either the biggest motivator or the biggest killer. It depends on how you use it, right? So okay, I'm scared that I might wake up tomorrow and I don't have a steady paycheck. Then let me do something about it, right? Let me actively look for a band. Let me actively look for a gig, right? I'm not just going to sit down and expect money or life to fall into my hands. No, I went out, I tried to make a band. Didn't happen. Make another one. Didn't happen. I joined one. Let's say it's always that fear of, okay, one day my money that I've saved from my corporate job is going to run out, right? So let me do something about it. Let me work. Let me actually actively get something for myself. Much better, trust me, than just going to an office job and sitting and wasting your entire life away and then making a paycheck at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's been a lot better than the corporate job paid, and some months it's been a zero, right? Because again, music and gigs and festivals and concerts and all of that, it's a very, very seasonal thing.
Yeah.
Winter, full of events. Summer, zero events. No one wants to go watch a band play outside in the middle of a 45-degree weather, right? So again, it all depends on how the day is, how the month is going. But take fear as a motivator and not as a killer.
Yeah. I like that. I forgot what I was going to ask. Yeah. You mentioned something about receiving your paycheck at the end of the month. I don't know why the first thing that came in mind is, when you're addicted to something and you get that instant gratification as soon as you get it. It could be food, it could be any other thing that people get addicted to. And then it's like a cycle. Like you just wait for that time of the month.
And then you're good for a week and then you're back to hell, right? Yeah. It's the same thing, by the way, with anyone who collects anything. You can see.
What do you mean?
Let's start with guitars. Personally, I collect basses. Let's say I have 3 basses in my house. The thing is, I wake up and I look at my bass and it's the best bass in the world and I love it so much and it's mine and I play it every day, right? And then 2 months later, I feel like I want to get a new bass, right? It's an endless, there's nothing wrong with my first bass. It's perfect. It's amazing. So I feel like, you know what? I just want to see another one right beside it, take on my wall, right? And then a third one. Same with people who collect watches. They want to see 25 watches, right? Until the emotional connection to the first watch kind of goes away, right? And then it just becomes an endless cycle. So you keep buying and you keep spending and you keep collecting and you keep making and just on and on and on. Same thing with paychecks, right?
How can we get out of that?
How can you get out of that? Dive deeper.
Where?
Dive deeper into your head. Start exploring different parts of yourself rather than see, even if your parents spend 20 million dirhams on you to get you through the best university in the world and whatever. Don't feel like you, with all respect and love to your parents, don't feel like you're hooked on their fishing line or you're hooked on anyone's fishing line. You're your own person and you need to kind of snap that away and dive deeper. Under every surface that you've ever lived, every surface you've ever known, you need to dive deeper and start exploring different waters, start exploring deeper oceans. Even if it's dark down there, even if light doesn't reach, even if nothing lives down there, you have to dive and you have to explore. And that's how you get out of that situation. That makes sense.
Makes so much sense. You're making me reflect. I'm forgetting even what I want to ask.
Talk about.
What kind of music are you into?
Personally, psychedelic music, or music that has a deeper meaning, or music that has a story behind it. Unfortunately, very, 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 very unfortunately, nowadays, all the music that we listen to is commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to Egypt, you go to the streets, all you hear is mahraganat and all of that, just loud, unmeaningful music with the 808 bass, just boom, 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 boom. There's nothing there. Yeah, it's just loud. It's just too loud. Even, yeah, I like metal. I'm wearing or rock, I'm wearing a Guns N' Roses shirt. But even for me, that's not really where I find myself into. I like the slow evolving music, the music that when you actually listen to it, you feel like you want to put some headphones on, just lay on your bed and look at the wall and just live a story, not just listen to a song, right? So this is the kind of music that I like and the kind of music that I personally do on my own, on the side. But again, as with corporate jobs, I have to do something that people actually want to listen to, right? I can't go and play a 25-minute song to someone and expect them to be like, oh, wow, amazing, right? No, I have to play the commercial stuff. You have to play it doesn't mean I don't enjoy them. Any music that's out there, any music that I listen to, that I can feel, I like, right? Maybe even if it's not the kind of music that I would personally put on in my house, but I played metal gigs, I played rock gigs, I played jazz gigs, I played X, Y, Z. I love them, I enjoy them, as long as there's live instruments playing, as long as there's feelings involved, as long as I can look at the drummer and feel that they're hitting drums, feel the guitar playing a solo, feel the bass playing a bass line, feel the keys popping off. As long as I can see that in front of me, right, I can play it, I can feel it, I can dive into it. But on my own, on the side, psychedelic music.
And what do you mean by psychedelic music? If I didn't know what psychedelic meant, because I know that word can be confused.
It can be confusing, it can be a bit confusing, but psychedelic music is the music that takes you to a different planet, quite literally, right? It's a kind of music where it vibrates on a different frequency than anything else. If let's say, for example, metal music, right? Just take that on the side. Metal music, all the bass and the drums, you can't really differentiate bass and drums, right? If in heavy metal music, you feel like they're all just so heavy, so hard. I like it personally, but when you go to psychedelic music, once you put on your headphones, you can literally hear music on an 8D dimension and not just, you're not on this planet right now. It's an 8D dimension. You can hear the guitar maybe on this side, you can hear the bass on that side, and there's a lot of panning, a lot of movement. You can hear the instruments play around your head, play around your neurons, literally rearrange your neuron structures as you listen to a song. So this is for me personally, any psychedelic.
Another way maybe I would describe it, or like mainstream people would describe it, I think they use the word ambient, صح? Like
ambient?
Ambient.
It can be ambient, but it can also be very loud. So it's both. Okay. It's not really, psychedelic music is the best thing about it. Like I told you, it takes you through a story. Yeah. If it's just one static song throughout, you don't feel anything. For example, for psychedelic music, you can have a 25-minute song like Echoes by Pink Floyd, right? The first 4 minutes is just a long intro. It's very, very dreamy, just gets you into your head, in a very nice vibe. 3 minutes later they're playing a distorted hard riff. It makes you think, it makes you, and it takes you from one head state to another, and then might
Like
bring you
waves.
back like waves. Takes you through waves, takes you through your emotions, takes you through your feelings, right? And it targets your emotional brain. That's how psychedelic music is interpreted. Yani it's those sound waves directly interact with your brain. So it's not just loud and it's not just instruments there, but it's very, very like carefully placed instruments at carefully placed time that kind of takes you, like you said, through waves, sine waves, quite literally, and it takes you through like a lot of different emotions throughout one song.
Yeah.
So yeah, take it actually, to adding an example on that on our current world or our current cultures, let's say, you have the difference between Kulthum, let's say, and the current whatever music is currently being mainstream, right? Back in the days, Kulthum, people used to go down and sit and listen to one song for 55 minutes or an hour, right? Just one song. But the amount of different feelings that one song from her invokes, for example, is equal to 1 million songs nowadays. You can sit down and the beauty is a lot of people when they're like, oh, we love Kulthum, we love Kulthum, we love Kulthum. But the funny thing is that she sings for only maybe 15 minutes when she's on stage for one song. But you've got 35 minutes of her band playing in the back, which a lot of people don't tune into, right? A lot of people, when they think of Kulthum, oh, I love her voice, I love her, I don't know what, I love her what. You talk to the old, like the Kulthum heads, as I like to call them, like, oh, did you see the nay in the back? Did you see the oud? Did you see the guitar? Did you see the flute? Did you hear that part, that passage? And the improvisation live, it's extremely important. Man, if you watch any Kulthum concert live, they always look at the band and like, Aido, repeat, right? So it's always the same repeating parts, but every time it's repeated, it's with a different feeling, it's a different headspace. The Nai guy will play a different solo. The Oud will play a different solo, right? It's always just something extra that people love and actually takes them through a journey. Something interesting, and that a lot of people our generation at least don't really appreciate or don't go through.
Why do you think people this generation don't appreciate long form kind of art?
It's not really about the time. It's about, it is about the time, to be honest. No one wants to sit and listen to a song for 45 minutes. But also because it makes you think for long periods of time, and no one wants to do that. No one wants to sit and think about love for 45 minutes, or hate, or anger, or agony, or pain, or whatever for 45 minutes. No one consciously wants to sit down in their brain and do that. And my grandparents, for example, they used to wake up in the morning. My dad puts on his that's old record player. He just gets his cup of tea, sits down, no phones, nothing in sight, and just sits down, looks at the sea or whatever, and just listens to a song for 45 minutes, right? I used to see that growing up. Nowadays, what do you do with the first thing when you wake up? Even me included.
Phone.
Exactly. That's the biggest issue. No one wants to sit down in their head for more than 5 minutes at a time. You're always looking for an escape. You're always looking for something to get out of your head. Endless scrolling, moving around your house. I'll go take a drive at night. I'm bored, I'll go do something. Sit down and live in your head. Listen to a song, feel something. Actually feel something, right? And not just, when something bad happens, I'm sad for 3 minutes, get out of that headspace and try something else, whatever. No, sit down, process it, feel it, go through it. If music is your way, do it. If gym is your way, do it. Not to be used as an escape, but as a method of getting through it. A lot of people go like, oh, I'm hurt, I'm gonna go to the gym. It's an escape for them. No, actually do it because you like it, because this is the way you release and not escape, right? Music is the same thing. Personally, for me in the beginning, it was an escape. It wasn't a method of dealing. I didn't feel something nice. Okay, I'll sit down and listen to whatever. The song made me feel bad, skip onto the next song, right? If it's a 20-minute song, I feel something that I don't want to feel, skip. No, sit and go through whatever you have to feel, not what you want to feel, right? Because your brain at any specific time will make you feel something that you need to feel, right? Your brain will make you feel exactly what you need to feel at the time you need to feel it. And then it's up to you to either go through and follow it and see where it's going to lead you. Because if it's making you go through something to get to the other side, right? You don't go through something just to stay stuck, and you get me? You go through it and you have to follow that door to the end to get to the other side. This is why, unfortunately, a lot of people don't not appreciate, but they don't want to even accept or embrace the idea of sitting down and maybe listening to a 25-minute song, or it's not about time, but a song that invokes a specific type of feeling or a certain way, because I don't want to sit in their heads. Because when you listen to music, you're in your head. It's you and whatever you're feeling through the sound waves you're listening to, whatever you're seeing through the sound waves you're listening to.
Yeah, especially since the music you said have long like instrumental parts, like without vocals.
Without vocals,
As
exactly.
vocals kind of also feed us with what to feel. When it's just instrumental,
You're right.
it's just your thoughts.
Your thoughts, yeah. Whatever that frequency is making you feel is just you. I completely agreed with that point. But which is why actually a lot of very good vocalists, they play on words. They don't spoon feed you they make you feel like they make their words as a blank slate where you can kind of interpret where they're coming from in your own way, right? So they don't make you feel the emotion they're feeling. A good vocalist will make you feel the emotion you want to feel through their lyrics, right? Same thing with instrumentals. Yani a lot of psychedelic progressive music, it's maybe a short 2-minute or in like 25-30-minute song. Maybe there's like 2-3 minutes of lyrics or whatever. And then the rest is just all instruments, and they make you feel, you have the freedom to feel how you want to feel. A lot of people would listen to a sad music and dance. A lot of people would listen to a happy music and cry, right? If sad lyrics can be in happy music and happy lyrics can be in sad music, right? It's not really, we don't associate them. We don't associate, let's say, specific lyrics to a feeling, right? So again, it's up to the listener to interpret whatever they listen to, how they want to feel and how they want to listen to it.
Yeah, I agree. So do you listen to Hollywood music?
Describe Hollywood music.
Like, مو بهوليوود شي يسمونها the mainstream
The
stuff.
mainstream music.
Yeah.
Personally, I listen to it because there's good bass. I'm a bassist, so I appreciate a good bass in songs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wake up and consciously choose to put on like a mainstream song. But if I listen to it, I would naturally, again, my brain is tuned into the bass. Whenever I hear it, I'd naturally just find my head like moving, vibrating with it. Even though it's not something I would open my phone and Shazam, like, oh, what's this song? I want to hear it again. But any song I hear, no matter how mainstream or bad or good it is, if my brain naturally tunes into a specific frequency, I will be tuned into it, no matter what it is. Even if I'm walking down the street and I hear some cafe playing some good music, I'd maybe just stand for like a minute and move with the song, feel it, and then go on with my life. You get me? It's not about the mainstream music. The only thing I don't listen to are musicians or artists who consciously make music because they want to get rich, or the main focus behind making music is to go mainstream, right? This for me is a very, very big red flag. Let's say artists Pink Floyd, take them as another example. They made music with no thoughts of going mainstream. Although they had the best selling album and the best made produced selling album in the entire planet, and they went completely viral at their time. And till nowadays, a lot of people still listen to them, but their intention behind making the music was not to go viral. They knew that if they're making a 40-minute song, who's gonna sit down and listen to it, right? They knew that they thought that no one was going to sit down and listen to what they had to say, but it completely changed music completely. Yeah. When they released that, they completely changed how listeners perceive music. Then you've got people nowadays who are like, what bass line would make me go viral? What vocals would... No, if you write something, if something is on your head, put it in a song. Don't take it out and then dissect it to make it go viral, or this lyric is not going to get perceived by someone by the music industry as being good or whatever. Scratch it, next, change it. You get me? So this is the only thing that actually kills me with music nowadays, is the intention behind it is money and going viral instead of actual art and pure art. It's the same with, these artists nowadays, painters, or who just... they know their painting is gonna sell, and all they do is like grab this like thing that just spins and just makes random patterns everywhere. For me personally, it's a lot of people are gonna buy it, and that's why they're doing it, right? It wouldn't
it's trending.
It's trending, exactly. That's why they're doing it. But is there any thought behind that piece of work? Zero. Yeah. So it's kind of the same thing, with music.
Yeah, like creative energy is something so unique to
nowadays.
And as it always was, but now it's rare. And it's not just rare. It's not rare in a sense in that people don't have it. People have it, but they just don't know how to actually materialize it or use it
to bring it out.
Yeah, And I feel like people don't because there are a lot of rules that, I mean, rules don't have to be followed, but like with music, مثلا, we can't.
There's so many rules that
Yeah.
they don't even tell you. There's so many rules. You can't
Yeah.
target political, you can't do X, you can't do Y, you can't do Z. A song has to be under 3 minutes to be playlisted, for example.
Yeah.
They just put you in this box and they close it and there's no escape. You know, it's like they put you in a box and they just, you know, these gold videos you see on Instagram where you have to reach your hand to grab the gold and then you win it, right? It's one of these. But the music industry is putting you into a box, let's say, and then they're reaching in and they're just grabbing the money that you make, right? And you can never leave that box. For them, the box is your creativity. They box it in and they're making as much money as they can out of your lack of creativity, right? If you leave an artist to his brain, to his creativity, and you tell them, you know what, produce what's on your mind, and you make $3 million, they will produce exactly what's on their mind. But knowing that they will not make anything if they produce what's on their mind, because again, they've been told that that's worth nothing nowadays, right? Then they will not do what's on their mind. They'll just be boxed in by what they can't do.
Yeah. Do you think artists are actually human? No, I don't even know how to say it. It's like, Ahina, let's say you get famous. You go into Hollywood.
Right.
Okay? You will be famous. Okay? Let's say you're very famous. You had
6 billion streams every day,
whatever,
let's say.
أكثر بعد. Okay?
Okay.
But why is it that every new artist that comes out, it's almost like they don't have the same chokehold with their fans like the elite artists? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't have the same effect. But even that ties back not them having the same effect, but it's the amount of new and upcoming artists that pop up for like 3 seconds and then disappear. Then they pop up, they show something and then disappear, which is what the music industry wants. Yani Sony, for example, let's take them as just a normal example. They want to have the most selling, the best artists under their name. And as a musician, everyone's dream is, let's get signed up with the best record label in the world, Sony, let's say, right? But when you go to Sony, same thing, by the way, even with Pink Floyd back in the days, what they did, it was actually extremely clever. What they went to Sony, or I'm not actually sure if it was Sony or another record label, and they're like, we have this song and it's 25 minutes and it's gonna break the world and it's so amazing. And then they looked at them, they're like, 3 minutes. You get me? And then what they did was, they're like, no, completely ignore that. We're gonna start our own record label, right? So they started that and they became, the most successful band in the world. But coming back onto that, no one nowadays can just wake up and start his own record label, right? No one can do that. So unfortunately, they're bound. Every new artist is bound with every new artist is bound with what the current industry standards are. So for them, they go in, the music industry takes exactly what it needs from them, then throws them out to the wolves, right? Let's say if you get 1 billion streams, you barely make $1. Just an example.
I know.
Let's say. And then they're done with them, on to the next, right? Just an endless loop, because people want to hear something. We're always evolving, we're always scrolling, we're always moving. We want to hear something new. No one's going to listen to the same artist ramble on for 6 albums every day, right?
Yeah.
There's this good voice today, throw it. Next voice, next day, new album. Next, you get me? It's always on the move. It's the same with your phone. You're always scrolling, you're always moving. The record labels, new artists, new sounds, new everything. Next. You get me?
Yeah.
So everyone's always scrolling through artists and through songs. You know, the saddest thing about all of that is that record labels own your music. They own you.
Do you think... I have so much in my mind that I'm trying to phrase it. So, you know, when I told you there are some people that have that fan base, they have them teaching a wrapped around their wrist.
They have them wrapped around, yeah.
I don't know why, but I feel like it's deeper than... I mean, you have a point, but I feel like it's deeper than them being in the industry for a long time. Especially since I got into the spiritual energy stuff. I feel like it's almost like they're hypnotizing
their fan
or casting a spell. I understand liking someone's music, but I will
obsessing
never... I will never... I'll never understand screaming, crying, falling down, fainting.
I actually think that's a good thing for the artist.
It's a good thing for the artist.
And a good thing for the person.
In what way?
In what way, exactly. Because for them, that means a person is actually interconnected with the artist's music. This is how you know that as an artist, when you look into your fan base and you see someone crying, you know you've done your part.
I don't mean
Yeah.
that kind of crying.
Yeah, the over the top. Even you go to a Taylor Swift concert and you see people fainting and you see people.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, even for them, for that fan, let's say even at a Taylor Swift concert, right?
Yeah.
You can see a fan literally fainting. That for her, Taylor Swift might be her therapy at some point. You get me? And one day when she wakes up, she listens to Taylor Swift. That's her emotional release,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's her way of feeling herself when she listens to a Taylor Swift song. Then when you see it being played live, remember when I was telling you, when you see live the instruments in front of you, the artist, you can connect, you can really tune in rather than just hearing it in a speaker or on your phone or in your car. When you see it live, you can literally feel her sound waves interacting with hitting you, right? But I completely understand where they can come from. For them, this is something that they've used as healing, as literally as something
Okay, I
that they
get it,
heal
yeah.
through. And now they're seeing it live. It's like emotional release. They literally
Yeah.
release. You get me?
Yeah. See, I agree with everything you said, and I know I may come out as judgmental asking these questions, but that's not what I mean.
Okay.
I cry sometimes when I listen to music. I've listened to music that, and I make a playlist to journey and
To journey into
to
some
journey. You know,
specific
I do
headspace,
exactly the
yes.
same thing. But are they doing it for the music or are they doing it for the person? Example, okay?
All right.
Let's say I heal in a ceremony, or I'm healing in a ceremony, and a song is playing by a shamanic band or a shamanic artist or a spiritual band. Okay, let's say this person makes a concert and a mainstream artist makes a concert. Which one would have more of a control over the people?
It's almost like a cult.
That's what I'm saying.
Why? Because the mainstream, they, like you said, they kind of have that chokehold over their
That's why.
fan base. Why? Because
What's
it's trending. They're famous. Everyone wants to be them. Everyone wants to be like them.
But a lot of things stay trending.
A lot of things, except artists. The only thing that doesn't stay trending is art. These people are making music again that is for the people, not for them, not for monetary value. Shamanic music, like let's go back to that. Shamanic music, it is done with the intention of healing the listener. It's not done with the intention of getting money from the listener liking the music, right?
So why do we give this so much energy and attention to the people that are doing it for the money then?
Because it's the same as your phone with TikTok. Why do you wake up and scream every day? It's
Yeah, but see, you're giving me other examples. You're not telling me why.
from them. The way I can't answer that question, to be honest. And why, it's beyond me. But personally, I don't feel that way with the music that I listen to.
No, I know.
I would personally say, if I was to answer that, it's coming from either trauma, or their lack of liking themselves. So they throw themselves into an artist or their work or whatever. They feel themselves through the music that the artist gives out. So for them, that artist is expressing their feelings. They're not expressing their own
they're
feelings.
living through someone
They're living
else.
through someone else's work. That for me personally, this would be my only explanation for that. But it's the same with the shamanic thing, right? It's you're living through someone else's work, but you are living through someone else's work, right? You're experiencing whatever. But for the mainstream artists and all of those like big names that people go and pass out at concerts to and cry and scream and jump and have 6 ambulances outside. And for me, that just explains that person has no self-value, but that person has no self-release. So they release through someone else's art. So for them, this artist is them. The impersonification of what they could be or what they want to be.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I just want to rephrase. I'm not judging the people that cry when they listen to music. I'm not saying in it to feel is not
again
right.
I cry when I listen to music, and I feel and I can jump and I can dance with the bass. It's not but there are some points where you have to separate yourself from the artist. You are not the artist, you are not the song that you are listening to. It helps you, that song or that artist can help you get to somewhere you want to go,
like to resurface
but that artist is not the way to heal or to resurface, right? It's just giving you some let's say some emotional release, some feeling release. So so not judging them, but at some point know where the artist ends and where you begin.
The reason why I brought this up was because like now I saw a video of someone crying listening to like an instrumental that's actually making them move like with an intention of actually feeling or not really mainstream. and when I see a video of someone in mainstream, and maybe that's just me, notice their presence. Are they there or not? You know, like look at the person who's listening to the shamanic song. They're fully there. Look at the person that's here. They're not there. They're not
Zero.
there. That's
True.
why I was asking, what is so powerful? No, it's not even the music at this point.
It's not the music.
Because
It's
even
the,
if they post a photo, people will praise the photo.
True.
Even if they post the photos of their feet, which
they
is
would buy
now
it. They would buy it.
yeah,
People would buy it.
which now
True.
people are doing that. People are buying people's clothes, يعني, that are famous,
True.
just to smell
True.
it unwashed. To,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like you know how we used to, you know how we're like back in the day, people used to worship statues and kings and queens. You're still doing it now with celebrities, but you're not
True.
realizing it. Not you, but
Yeah,
like,
but
you know,
they're not
people,
realizing.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's what I mean.
I completely agree. And that, again, that all boils down to yani, their lack of self-identity. So they have to throw their identity into someone else.
Giving their power away.
Giving their power away.
They think they're so small.
Yeah, that I will never make it. I'll never be that artist, or I'll never be not that artist. It's not about the art or that person anymore. I'll never be that statue. That not statue, but like I'll never get to that level. I'll just worship it from the
But
side.
don't you think the levels is أصلا an illusion? Because ما في
Yes,
levels.
there are no levels. There is zero levels. That's the thing. If you think about it, we give levels.
Exactly.
Right? The listener gives the levels.
Exactly.
You make an artist.
Yeah.
If we let go, they go down to beneath our level even. Worth
That's
nothing.
exactly why the level, the hierarchy system that we created is an illusion.
Exactly.
You know what
True.
I mean? It's not sustainable. It's being fed
It's
by
literally.
energy. It's like almost like, you know how a witch needs to feed through innocent people's energies?
True. It's the same exact
Same
thing.
concept. And that's why that's what I meant by I feel like there's something darker going on.
It is 100%.
This Hollywood thing was very interesting. I wish we had more time to go into it.
Yeah, we can.
'Cause
This needs a book on it.
Maybe we can do another one.
Yeah, please.
Well, I'm happy you came.
Thank you.
And I'm actually serious about coming again.
I'm 100% down. I love this. This feels so unfiltered and raw.
Yeah.
يعني I love it. بس يعني on a final note before we go يعني music in general, since we're still on that topic, يعني I want everyone, or at least anyone who watches this, to actually sit down and tune into music, not listen to music. If you listen to Taylor Swift, if you listen to Justin Bieber, if you listen to whatever your artist is, I want you to listen and sit down and listen to the other members of the song.
Yeah. Asan, thinking now, I've never heard a song twice the same way.
The same way, never.
Have you heard about light codes or light language?
No, explain.
So it's basically, I don't think words can ever explain what I feel, even though I'm speaking.
True.
You know? Like even though I'm saying, oh, I love you, I don't think the word love you explains.
Nothing. You can say 1 million words while you're sad.
Yeah.
Equals to one time of you just crying and letting it out in sound. Not in language, in sound.
Yeah.
This is the release. This is a human body's release. And this is the human body's receive as well. You receive music as sounds, and like you say, we see it.
Yeah.
You close your eyes and you listen to something, you see colors, you feel colors, right? It's colors you don't even see in your day-to-day life.
Exactly.
Colors you don't even imagine they're not even real on this planet, right?
Yeah.
You can see some colors that are on a whole different spectrum than you can imagine just from one single sound wave, let alone millions in a song.
Yeah, so light codes are basically, I mean, people gave it a name, but in reality it's just the language of the soul. It's like, it's not words, it's just frequency.
True.
And I feel like...
It vibrates.
Yeah. And I feel like you may ask like, how? Like, do I just sit and say like random stuff?
Actually, you cannot say. That's the point.
You cannot say, but also it's a very deep state where you feel like you can speak beyond
human comprehension.
The human comprehension.
100%.
Like I feel like even with like what you were saying about like tuning in, everything has sound. Like even this table that planted
everything.
And when you just are open to it, you will hear
everything it has to say,
and it won't sound in English.
Yeah, it won't sound. It won't sound. It's a feeling. It's not a sound. It's not something you perceive as sound.
But I hear it as sound. Like I can sometimes hear like harmonics of
a tree or
things.
something.
Yeah,
Yes.
like I hear a melody. Like when I was in Peru, it was almost as if I was speaking to the land, and I was like, "Show me,
Literally, show me what
show
you
me."
have. Yes.
Yeah, you know, and I heard music, and I saw.
It's so beautiful
You know?
because to add on to that, actually the entire planet is always communicating with you, but
Exactly.
you're not tuned in. We are never tuned in because coming back to our first discussion, we're always moving, we're always scrolling, we don't
Distracted.
sit, we're always distracted. You get me? The sea is saying something, the air, the trees, the birds, the wood in your house, everything around you is saying something. But you are never tuned in. Ever since you were born, you're never tuned in because there's always this movement in your life.
I feel like when you are born, you're more tuned in, but
Much
because
more,
the people
yes.
around us aren't, we become like them.
And that's why when you see a baby, he's so curious. He's always looking around. He's feeling things from every angle. He looks at the sky sometimes, then he looks at the tree, and they focus on the small things. Animals, they're so tuned into everything around
Yeah.
them. See an animal, he can go and just look at a tree for 3 seconds. You get me? And then he can pee on it. But
Yeah.
and adding up to that, he can. They're so. For them, everything is calling out to them. From the smallest, tiniest insects that they see around them, to trees, to stones. They want to sniff, they want to feel everything. They always want to move because they don't have that human distraction in them. So for them, everything that they see on a walk outside is exciting. Even same inside the house when you first get a pet, they're moving, they explore every single inch of your place.
That's why it's important to do the work. So you allow kids to be
Exactly.
kids, and you allow kids to actually teach us, and kids to raise us.
True.
Because kids are pure, they just came from God.
True.
Who are we to tell them how to live?
To them, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
True.
And also,
Not about that as well, but we tell our kids how to live based on our experiences. They're a
Exactly.
whole new person. They're a whole new brain.
Yeah.
They live the way it's your job to guide them, but not to enforce how they should live, right? Guide them based on your best practices. And again, knowing that, me as growing up, I look at my parents who at some point I've idolized them, like the artists we were talking about. They're like, oh, my dad can never make mistakes. My dad is perfect. My mom can never make mistakes. My mom is perfect. And then the more you grow up, they're learning with you. They give birth to you. They're learning. No one gives a manual on how to raise kids. No one gives a
Exactly.
manual on how to do anything in life. You have to learn as you go.
going back to the animal thing, I guess I'll just end it with this. I also don't think we only have 5 senses. You know, I feel like we have way more.
Okay. Can you explain a bit more?
I'm seeing us as this very magnificent creatures. I don't think God only gave us 5 senses. And I know it for a fact because there are senses I can't even explain what they are.
True.
You know?
You open your senses. Through experiences, a lot of people realize that they can open a lot more senses than they realize.
Yeah. I guess you remember. Then when you're a kid, you know.
Yeah, you can feel a lot more than you think you know now.
Yeah.
But through your actual living as an adult, when your brain develops, you realize, they say we use a very small percentage of our brain. You realize that as you grow up, there's so much more that you can unlock.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Decoded Journeys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and turn on the notification bell to get notified when I upload more videos. Thank you.